and some of the great things that we offer. So let's start off with, why should I come to this career center? Part of what our job is to help you is to prepare for either learning what you want to do with your major, exploring a specific major or career. And then we get to work. We work on developing and preparing you with services and lots of resources. Specifically, I'm going to cover a lot on online, because that's a big part of our college. A lot of our students are coming in and needing help with their resources. So a little bit about the Career Center. We have a lot of people working here. Our motto is a career college special model. What does that mean? That every college has a specialist, the College of Education, Miguel, Martinez, myself, or something within the College of Natural Math and Science, and that is Michelle Levy. And so every career specialist is in charge of that specific college and learning about the trends and what's going on in that particular area. Another big thing that we do is prepare you with a lot of help to identify your major and your career options. There's several career assessment tools that are available online, and also if you come in and have administer them for you and then talk about the results. Today I'm really going to be focusing on three of the big ones, right? It's Ferguson, time connection, and an online services and databases that we have to either help you find jobs, do research on careers, and help you explore your interests. The process is going to work a little bit of this. We do a lot on searching for yourself, determining your identity, figuring out who are you, what do you want to do with it. And that's where time connection will come in. After you've reviewed and you understand and have a better idea what you want to do, then we start preparing you either to doing some volunteer, help you connect you to internship possibilities. So the idea is that once you identify that place, now we got to break you into that industry. And we help you specifically by giving you a lot of critique and review on your resume and cover letters. These two documents are very important for you. This is your marketing material. And so we spend a lot of time and a lot of services offered to you to make sure that those resumes and cover letters are up to date. And so two things you could do. You could do a one-on-one appointment with your specialist, or you could come through what we call drive-through services. And that's no appointment needed. Just come in and have either one of our specialists or our interns who've been trained to really review cover letters and resumes. Once you identify the place and you prepare that resume and that cover letter and you send it out, and boom, you got that interview and they want to talk to you, we could do mock interviews for you. And a lot of them are either online or in person. And so that's kind of how it's going to work, the process. Now let's talk about things that we could do for you as far as connecting you. In the fall and spring, we put together a calendar of events and we cover all types of topics, everything from resume, cover letter, professional etiquette, things you should or should not do on social media, business survival skills. And then that's from our part. We're also really big on partnering up with people, not just on campus, but off campus. And so we developed this Slice of Advice series where we choose specific areas and industries and hot topics, and we're bringing specialists to come in and talk to you directly. Now, this is a great model for you as far as coming and breaking in and doing your research on specific areas. I want to thank the people that we have 6 people logging in right now. So that's great. Keep bringing them in. Then the events. What we do with the events are so important because, again, this is connecting you. And so we do this by a couple ways. One is our career fairs. We do several career fairs throughout the semester. Right now, we're in the process of doing the public servant, government, and nonprofit job fair that's happening all week. And so we have the series of events putting together that area or that industry. Government. And so we want to make sure that we're connecting you to as many employers as possible with the right connections and the right ability to connect with these employers. If you come into the Career Center or just check our website, you'll be able to see a list of all the events that are happening together. Since this College of Education, let me put a little plug, next semester we do the teacher job fair. And so just, every semester in the spring is when we have our teacher job fair. Throughout the whole year, there's just a series of job fairs for you to connect with. We also are working in next week with our grad school prep week. And so on next Tuesday, we have over 110 graduate programs from around the country that are here to recruit you and to connecting you to get your master's or your doctorate. And also we do lots of companies info sessions. And this is why it's important. Now we'll talk about how to connect with these services and how to find out and keep track of who's coming and how to connect with the Career Center. And lastly, we have this program. It's called the On-Campus Recruiting Program. And so what we do is we bring in organizations, we have them upload their jobs on our database, and we have a limited time frame. But in that time frame, you're applying and you're getting that connection with that employer. And they're setting up their interviews here in the Career Center. That allows the student to now know when, but where they're going to meet that potential job. And the idea is that after the series is over, you may be one of those that gets asked to have the job. And that's on our campus, on-campus interview program. So that's just some of the things that we help you put together. Real quick, some facts, because I'm getting some information on alumni. So if you're alumni or you're graduating, you're saying, I didn't know all this about the Career Center. No problem, we got you covered. As an alumni, you get to use our full services for a whole year after you graduated, because we know you were busy trying to get your degree. Acceptable. And so this information is going to come back to you. If you're leaving or you're graduating in the fall, don't worry, you still have spring, summer, and fall of next year to come and you use our services. Now you're saying, Miguel, well, what happens after that 1 year? I still want to use the services. We got you with that. That's when you become a member of the Alumni Association. With becoming an alumni member and paying their dues, you have access to our Titan Connection, where it's where we hold the jobs. But regardless of when you graduated, as long as you are a Titan, a full Titan, you are always welcome home. And that means you have access to all of our Career Center events, our career fairs, and our workshops at no cost to you. So you're always welcome to come back. Here's just a little bit of my hours so that you'll know we're located in LH 208. Appointments, you can make them. Our drive-thrus are from 9 to about 2:45. I have late hours on Wednesdays from 4 to 7. Please, big shout out right now. If you have Instagram, look me up at COE, College of Education, MI Martinez. And that's where you'll be able to find me. So now let's go online and let's get cracking. I have some great things I wanted to show you. So right off the bat, I'm going to show you, and I think you're able to see my screen. And so this is the Career Center's page. A couple of things that I want to go through. If you're not on campus, but you need some help, here's the big ones that I think you're going to benefit. So let's go over it. The first one is Ferguson. Already connected. Ferguson Career Guide Center. Anything you wanted to know about that specific job or that specific industry, you're able to go in here. So let's look up teacher. And so there's a plethora of folders here. So let me make it easy for you and go professional profile. And so now this is a different types of teachers. Anything from teacher's aide, substitute teacher, cooking teacher, studio teacher, acting teacher, kindergarten teacher. Boom. I'm always getting people asking me, what do I need to do to become a kindergarten teacher? What's it like? Where do I find this information? So this is where you're going to go to. This is what you're going to go to. One of the things I like is that you see this highlight. They're able to give you the language that they use in that industry, which is very important. The other is the quick facts on the side. I really want to stress this part. And so, let's make it fun. My partner in crime just said, you know what? Let's make it industrial instructional design. And so now let's look at the profile, the professional profile. What is it? It breaks down the position description, the salary, the advancement prospects, the education you're going to need. Now, this is the pre-work that I recommend students to do. One, you're connecting with the language of the profession, which is going to be important. Two, you're learning the how to break in tips, which is going to be important as you're connecting, as you're expanding your network. This is a great way to get some ideas. I also want to take you to the side, the quick facts. So let me start off with the salary, because I could already see Dr. Gutra looking at me like, what? Because it's a national range, it always tends to be a little smaller. So always think of, because you're in California, just add anywhere to 10 to 15% extra, just so that you'll know. But I really want to focus on the experience and the skill set. So one, experience, because they're telling you what you need to have as you're getting into this program. So you already have the goals of what you need to make sure that before you graduate, you're able to prove and able to showcase these types of experience. The next, it's the trades, the skills and trades. And this is something that you're going to need to learn. A lot of our students get confused with abilities and skills. And so skills are always something that you're going to be measurable. So that someone who wants to be in this profession needs to be analytical, needs to be written well, organized, project management, communication, interpersonal skills, teamwork skills, patient, tolerant, tasteful, flexible, self-motivated, energetic, enthusiastic, and creative. Does this sound like some of your students?
Absolutely.
Yeah. And so what you're going to do is now you already know if you're missing some of these skills, you need to put yourself in a situation where you could have them. If you already have them, but you want to improve, you already have a mindset and a future goals as to what skills you need to make sure you're going to be able to maximize while you're in your program. So be ready for that. Now, as you're learning about the skills and you're learning about the education, the other thing I really appreciate about this is let's go find a job. And so now we're going to give you a plethora of different types of jobs all over the country. Can someone give me a zip code? Can someone give me a zip code that we want to be able to look up? I got a 9. I got
have him type it in. Okay, 92701.
Okay, 92701. Nice. And then we're going to look at it. And so we're going to see potentially what in your area. Now, here's a couple things that you want to do. And a lot of students get like, I didn't find anything in my neighborhood. It's like, calm down. This is the beginning of you doing that research. A lot of the stuff that you're going to have to dig on your own. And so one of the things that you're going to do is figuring out, well, who's hiring? So there's instructional design by United Health Group. Who is that? So one of my first things I would do is go look them up, find out why are they looking for, what do they want, and then seeing what other potential jobs they might have. So let's just kind of look at instructional design. And so they're going to give you responsibilities. And now let me just put this out, because some of the HR people do a really good job on very detailed of what they want, and some not so. So just be patient and look around. But what I want you to do is you're researching this information. And so this one, they're effective design, develop and evaluate of training programs and materials across the organization, from an individual who could keep abreast of various training delivery techniques, business process, products and systems, to several functional areas. This will be done in accordance with management and functional leaders to gather information. Already, this sounds like some of your students. So now you're already kind of getting a sense of what this is going to be about. And you're going to do the research. What do they want? What do they have that you already have? And you're highlighting what is it that you may need, because this is where you'll go to Dr. Gutra and go, hey, Dr. Gutra, I'm interested in this specific job. I'm interested in this specific skill. can you show me where I could improve on? Or how work with your team. There's a lot of team projects that you're going to be in charge of, or you're going to be doing. This is where you start developing those competencies that are so important. I could go on and on about Ferguson, but I think you're getting the hang of it. There's going to be a lot of information, and please take your time. Oh, I got to use this one though. There's an instructional designer at California State University, Pomona. Down the street, I already found one of you your potential new job just by having you go onto this website. And so everything that they're going to, now because it's the state, they're really going to put a lot of information, but I want you to take time to really read it through. And now know that there's a potential one job available down the street at Pomona. So that was Ferguson. I love this program. I love this website. It gives you a lot of information that'll help you prepare.
Show teachers.
So let's go back to teaching jobs, right? Because I already saw that. Teaching. Well, teacher. We're going to search. And you see the profiles at the end, you go professional profile. And so now, again, this is a tool. It's not just to find jobs, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to get there. But what I want to make sure is that you understand the game of how to apply for these jobs. Some of you need that understanding. There's a process. There's people who are, especially with my teachers, because there's so many different school districts that, and some small ones, it's really going to be a person reviewing your documents. And the larger school districts, a lot of them are automated. So I want you to start really understanding there's a process behind it. There's even a process to doing substitute teaching. So let's go back to kindergarten teacher. You're reviewing everything they're saying about your profession. And then you're making sure that you're seeing the skills, your resume, your cover letter are highlighting those skills because they already told you that's what they want. This profession requires these specific skills. And so you're highlighting also employment prospects, advances, but the other part all the way in the bottom where it says tips for entry. Read it. Take time. It does take some effort for some folks, but the payoff is finding a job that's right for you. And then we'll go on finding jobs. So let's look at local area. And so this is what we have. We have South Hills Academy. We have a research assistant. And so sometimes what they're also putting in here is they may want someone who was already a kindergarten teacher as part of what they're asking for. So this is where you have to be a little patient. Employers develop these techniques to get as many people to look at their jobs. So just be patient. But this is where this is what you would do as you're researching for potential jobs around the area. So now let's go to our main job function or database, and that's the time connection. And so what you have to do, this thing is not, you go onto our website, and I'm really just kind of just showing you a lot of the things that we have to offer. And you're going to go where it says job and internships, and then that's when it's going to send you to your home page. This, for a lot of you who are registered with us, this is what you look at when you jump into the Career Center's account. Now, one thing I want to draw your attention is the profile. You want to get to about 90. Why is that so important? Because when you take time to create your account and really put in that effort, we're going to be able, the system, this is what I love, the system's going to be able to, as jobs are being inputted into our system, then they're going to be able to send you an email saying, hey, by the way, because of what you told us you're interested in, here's a new opportunity. Here's what you need to get going. I have such a hard time for a lot of our students to take time for this, because what happens is that you did it very early on and you never went back. And so you didn't upgrade it. You changed your major. You didn't tell us. Oh, you're graduating earlier than expected. You didn't tell us. So I really want to make sure that you take time and complete the profile. Once you complete the profile, we're going to go for jobs because that's what we're looking for, right? And so when you're going, the first place you want to go is Titan Job Connection. Now, this is our very own job database. It's only open for California State University Fullerton students. So make sure that your profile is up to date. Now let's go look for what opportunities may be around the corner. Right now, if you can see, there's about 2,667 opportunities. But now these are jobs, part-time jobs, internships, volunteering opportunities. So how do we cut through all that? We're going to go where it says Advanced Search. You see on the side. And then for a lot of my teachers, go all the way to Junk Function, all the way at the bottom. And now, for me, just so I want to get the best results, I choose all teaching. Middle school, post-secondary, teaching secondary, special education, and why not tutoring? And I might even do, let's just go full-time. What do you have? And then we do the search. And so right now, we have 86. Now, this is from all over. One thing that teachers need to understand is that the days of teachers only working for school districts, they're over. There's a lot of people who want to hire teachers for nonprofits, for state and city government, federal governments. And so take your time and look at what's available for you. Right now, I'm looking at professional public speaker, trainer, teaching for middle school or high school, certificate not required. And also this database, it applies. We have people from all over who want to hire some of our teachers. And so take time to review and see what opportunity might interest you. Let's look at special education coordinator, Brea, down the street. So one of the things that you're going to see is this apply button. This apply button allows me to apply directly to the employer and through their system. What's so nice about it is you could do the same thing. But before you could apply, you need to make sure that you upload the documents that you're going to need. And so you read everything, and then they're going to tell you what to expect, what to do. Compensation, sometimes are very upfront, some of them are not. Once you decide to apply, you will create a resume and a cover letter for this particular job. I would name it Special Education Coordinator, Brea, California. And so then you go back to your home base and you go to your profile or documents and upload your resume and cover letter. So that once you see that opportunity again, you could go forward and apply for it. Let me see something else that I wanted to go over. So now we know where the jobs are. Now we know the importance of creating an account with the Career Center specifically so that you could get the Titan Connection jobs. But now if you're looking for jobs on campus, that is not the only place you're able to find jobs. The other two places for our campus is Associated Students. And these are typical jobs that work with the Association of Student, that's the student government on campus. Here are some of their opportunities that are available for full-time positions, staff positions, and also part-time student positions. And so that's a great way, again, for you to connect and know about opportunities. Auxiliary Service is our very own nonprofit organization here at California State University, Fullerton. And a lot of times they're offering teaching positions, facility, all types of enrichment curriculum instructor. So I say you want to cover everything. As you're looking for positions, you're just trying to get in and find out as much information as possible.
Hi, Miguel. We have a question.
Sure.
One of the students is interested in knowing how important a cover letter is when they submit their resumes.
Can I tell you something? First of all, I wish I could give you a toughie for that question. And I'm having a lot of problem explaining to students that it's so important. And even some employers will say, I don't really, not that. So imagine your professor asks you to do a paper, a 2-page paper. But not only do you do that 2-page paper, not only do you do the 2-page paper, but you're also put in some pictures behind this report. And then you send her a link or you throw in a video. What I'm saying is it doesn't hurt. It helps state who you are. It gives them, the employer, an opportunity to understand and how, and if written well, because that's the other thing. I mean, it's really about connecting and writing a very thoughtful letter. And you're really answering 3 questions, okay? Why do you want this job? And I know we all need jobs and we all need to have a little money in our hand and we need a paycheck, but that's not what you're going to start off. You're really reviewing the job announcement and you're articulating 1 or 2 things within that job announcement that really excites you about that position. So you start off in that body paragraph, you want to talk about that. You're also going to talk about, well, why is that organization a place where you want to start to work? Because as an employer, I want to understand why would I pick you over so many of the applicants? And so in order for you to effectively do that, that's that research piece is going to come in. Remember, one of the things I talked about in this presentation is look up who's offering you that job and reviewing it and finding, the more you find out about that organization, the better you're going to be able to write that letter and state why is it that you as a young professional wants to start and want to create or want to be employed with that organization. And the last thing you want to talk about in that letter is, why should you get an interview? What is it about you? What makes you unique? What makes you different? What do you have to offer that organization that would want to make them come and talk to you? And so that's the basis of a strong cover letter. I know I might have overdone it, but I really do think that's so important. And a lot of my students, they fight me on this. Do we have to? You really want to make sure that you're selling yourself, and especially in this time of just competition. Okay, so that was enough from that ranting. Thank you, Miguel, taking them to church. And let's go on to the other specific area. And just be patient with me. I'm playing with my, So I get excited. I'm sorry. I know that I got people in here looking at me like, why is he so excited? Because we want to prepare you. And part of the reason I enjoy my job so much is because I love when students come in going, I did it. I mean, I didn't believe it, but I did it, and it worked, and it got me the job. So we've already talked about helping you explore jobs and opportunities and who you are. Then we showed you where those jobs and opportunities are hidden and how to find them and how to prepare your marketing material. So now, how do we get that big day? You got the email, you got the call, we want you for an interview. And you're like, oh my goodness, I'm a student far away from Cal State Fullerton and I can't get Miguel on the phone. How do I do this? You're going to go where it says interview stream. Oh, I love this. This is one of my favorites. So what it does, it's just really a great place for you to start practicing your interviewing skills. And so what you could do is go on and says conduct an interview. And by the way, there's something new that started. They're doing mobile interviews. So on your cell phone, you can start practicing. So there's really no excuse why you're so scared of interviews, because we got you. It's like going to the gym. We're going to make sure you finish that marathon. So conduct an interview. And so there's 2 of them. You can either create your own or go to the one that's already established. I always start off with already established, because then you get a better sense of what they're going to ask or how to prepare, how to get your head around it. And so we're going to look around, see teaching, because we're still in the teaching. And then let's say elementary teaching interview. Why not? And so what they're going to be able to do is, these are all the questions that they could potentially ask you. All you do is drag one and put it in here. Now, I would say you want to stick to 3 to 5. Don't try to do 20 at the same time. Relax, calm down, because what's going to do, it's going to record you. And so now the question is written to you. You could either have a woman or a man prepared you, and then it's going to record how you answer the question. After you finish the session, then you're going to be able to see your full interview. So this is why that 3 to 5 will work, because it's going to be about maybe 20 to 30 minutes. Trust me, you don't want to see yourself over an hour. You're going to be like, oh my God, right? The first time I did it, I was like, I can talk with my hands. And I talk with my hands. But it's a really great way to prepare you for the ums, the like. And so afterwards, as you're reading and watching your interview, there's a little assessment tool that pops out, and you could just take it. And it's kind of challenging you. How many times did you say how many how many likes? And so a way to start preparing you, making sure that you're really delivering your information with confidence. But more importantly, a big mistake a lot of our students do when they do interviews is they don't answer the question. They hear the first 3 words, and then they've been practicing, and they just read stuff out loud. Take your time, hear the question, formulate a little bit of the answer, and then deliver with confidence. And so this is a great tool to help you do that. Interview stream, don't fall asleep on it. It's it. So there it goes. You're going to need a little few times, so make sure that you know that. As you register, you may need an extra 5 minutes to help you set up and prepare. So there's a little playing around with it, but it's a great tool to help you prepare for those interviews. Now, all right, we talked about places to explore your industry, how to develop the competencies and language to really sell yourself in that area. We talked about and show you where on the jobs may be hidden, okay? And now we talked to you about potentially, if you do get those job interviews, how to prepare for them. So what else can we do for you? I want to show you our schedule for the fall. Look at that. There's a lot of opportunities for you to engage with employers. And so, and this is the hard part, because we have so many students and we can never pick up the time and date for these things. And we're really conscious of that. I want to make sure I let my especially my long commuters know we're working on that. But the reality is that we're going to do what we can with the times that we have to offer. And so if you live far away, but you want to come to these job fairs, you need to plan ahead early on. So the next major one that we have is our public service, government, and nonprofit career expo. So this is it. Me. How's that better?
Can you hear
Can you hear me now? You know I'm loud, so just tell me. How's it now?
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear you. I'm talking. Okay.
I don't know how you went over here.
I don't know either, but you guys let us know, folks. Let us know. Technical difficulties happen. We just want to make sure. I continue. So this is where we tell you who's coming. And we do have a lot of them who are hiring people in education. Let me just highlight one of the organizations, because I know people are like, can you find this for me? I'm giving you homework, but I'm also showing you where the work's at. So Boys and Girls Club, they're looking to hire people within education. And so the events, a lot of the times the employers will tell you what they're looking for. This particular time, this employer did not. So let's go back. Well, that was that for that employer. See how they play me? All right, that's next one. AmeriCorps Vista. And that's not up. So I apologize. I guess something is, let's click here for television information. I will make sure IT person knows that that information is not up. We'll have that, who's coming, definitely. And then how to prepare. We usually will give you a series of opportunities and workshops so that once the event is set, we'll put some time aside to help you prepare for that. And so for this particular event, we're looking at Wednesday, September the 20th from 10 to 3. just come in, bring your resume and your cover letter so that we can help you prepare to engage as employers. So that is the fairs that we put together. Also, I'd be remiss if I didn't talk to you a little bit about this is our big 2-week event, and this is graduate week. I know a lot of you are already in graduate school, sorry, but you may think about getting that PhD. Next week, we're going to have over 120 graduate school programs from around the country. Beautiful day from 10 to 3 out of the quad. Come check us out. The schedule is online, but I also want to remind you, we do this every fall. We're really big, and we help students with preparing for grad school, from statement of purpose to how to ask a professor for letters of recommendation to funding. Everything you really need to know about grad school, all our specialists have been trained to help you land that opportunity. So I just want to make sure you know that. I think so, yeah. We have the job fair coming up this Thursday for if you want to work in the federal government, state government, local government, we got your back on this. Every semester we put a calendar of events and workshops online and in hand. So a lot of the things I talked to you about, we do a lot more than just some of the things we covered. So make sure you do your homework. Career guide. We have people graduating and coming back for this. This guide breaks everything down for me, from like how to prepare for an interview to a resume to a cover letter. I think we're ready for questions. What do you think? Let's make it happen. Is there questions?
So up at the top, you'll see your name, and what you can do is just unmute yourself, and that way you can open the mic and you're able to ask questions.
Questions? Because I'll start talking. So we have the webinars. Oh, and I got to make sure to plug every Monday, except for Wednesday, we're having a bunch of webinars for our college. So I'm the first one to go. Thank you for really making me feel good and welcome. But there's a lot of things coming up, so make sure you visit the website, College of Education. This lady down here, Dr. Cynthia, Dr. G, put a lot of work in because we know that these resources are important to you, and we just want to make sure that we connect with you in the right way. Questions? Yes? No? How we doing, Doc? Is there anything else that you felt I need to cover?
I think you may want to cover the video one more time, like how they record themselves for the video and what that's like.
Sure.
That may be something they take advantage of.
Okay. So everything, like I said, everything starts with going to and visiting our website. Once you get into our website, our page, you're going to look at interview stream. And now you begin that journey. You created an account. You're going to go conduct an interview. And you go to either you could customize your own, or you could go to one that's already done. And so you'll click on create an interview. You pick the type of job. Now, I looked this up. Design school, they're really looking for fashion, so I apologize. Put down to look at elementary school teaching. And so describe the most difficult discipline problem you've ever experienced. You'll drag that question here. And like I said, you really want to stick to anywhere from 3 to 5 questions. And once you finish picking the questions that you chose, you go on start interview. And that person will pop up. they'll start the recording on your camera. And like I said, it's anywhere from 20 to 30 minutes. Then you review it and you're able to do assessment to make sure that you really answer the question correctly. Your temperament, your voice, your style, all that gets put into that so that you have a better sense of how you do and where you want to go. So that was the interview stream. The other major one we want to cover is Titan Job Connection. Just remember that you have a lot of options. And so the advanced search key is important because it's going to help you work through and review the jobs, specifically the ones you like. Make sure that you have your profile filled up and you're able to even put a picture and then upload your documents. And so there's a lot of room. But I mean, you're not going to have problems putting in or running out of space. We have a lot of room for you to put all your documents in a safe place. And so you start applying. We also highlight the events on the right down side so that you understand and you see what's coming. And then the other thing we covered was Ferguson, a really great place to help you start exploring, learning your craft, learning your industry, from the vocabulary to who's hiring. So that's just some of the resources that are available to you. I want to make sure that you're also aware, if you are on campus, that we're preparing you. We're preparing you for any kind of possibility and making sure that you're ready for what's out there. One of the biggest things I'm hearing from a lot of employers is LinkedIn and using it correctly. So before I get into the LinkedIn, I really want to make sure and stress it is so valuable that, especially those who are going to go in education, that you review your social media from your Facebook, Twitter. Make sure that all that content that you're comfortable a parent looking through, you remove. You remove it. And I'm not going to tell you what not to do, but just be careful, okay? Because the expectation out there is it's a lot. I understand that we're living life, we're recording it and putting it up. It's a very complicated thing, and so you really want to take time to make sure that you're cleaning that social media profile of yourself. So I always think of, would you care if a parent saw that? And if you're like, yes, I would. Don't put it on. And so one of the big things that we want to show you or talk to you about is we put together a LinkedIn academy, several workshops from the beginning of what is LinkedIn, to picking your picture, to using the right buzzwords, to then how to maximize and go after and talk to and connect with folks and following them and keeping track. Because what's going to happen is, especially from undergrads, you're going to get to a point where you're ready to just join and jump into that profession. You're going to want to start sounding like them, and you want to know what's going on within your area of field expertise. And so LinkedIn is a really great resources, not only to connect with employers and alumni, but to really connect with people and your industry. So I think that's another plug I want to make sure that I send out. So we talked about our events that are happening in the semester. We talked to you a little bit about where to do research on your field and your area of interest. We talked to you a little bit about how to connect with jobs and opportunities. And then we showed you how to prepare for those jobs and opportunities. And we gave you an overview of what we have to offer here at the Career Center. I really want to thank Dr. Gutro for inviting me and putting this together. I know that these series are going to be important, not just for the folks who joined us today, but people who are going to want to do research. And so I want to encourage those who are watching me, tell your other friends. I know people are busy. It's Monday evening. People have families. A lot of the learning and the content intake happens late at night, 1, 2 in the morning. So share this with your friends and let people know that we're here to help them. At this moment, I'm good. If there's any questions or comments or concerns, please bring them on. Otherwise, I think we're ready to call it in.
Thank you very much, Miguel. We appreciate your insight.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone, and have a great evening.